Hello, hello, hello. Well, it's the morning and I'm getting ready to leave. I'm making sure that I have taken everything that I want out of here. I just took a very nice shower and I took all the bedding off my bed like I'm supposed to. And put my towel over here so I got the bedding there. Oh, you guys, hold on a second. I have to show you something. Okay. Oh, here's my scent bird. See, I really do take it with me. Okay. So this whole weekend, I keep on forgetting to show you guys this. When I pulled up, this bird was sitting on, there's like a fence outside. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a fence out there. Do you see? Okay. So when I pulled up, it was sitting like right there, like welcoming me in. Do you want to see where this bird was this whole weekend? Let me show you. It is right here. It's like Mrs. Birdie. And there, look, there's her husband. And they're making this nest. Look. They've been sitting there the whole weekend. They're so sweet. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Birdie, Arizona. I love them. And every night she would be sitting out there. I could see her sitting out there. Isn't that so sweet? So anyway, I bought a fan at Walmart when I got here. I ended up giving it to Mel because look, there's a fan right there. So yeah, I was drying a black t-shirt to wear to the airport, and I just went and checked it on the dryer, which the dryer before was completely fine, so I must have put it on the wrong setting. I don't know. It's kind of an old dryer. And I put it on 70 minutes because I was like sitting outside in the sun for a little bit. I was cleaning up everything, making sure I had put everything away. And, I mean, this place is basically like the second that I walked in, it's still spotless. And the t-shirt was not dry. So I had to put it in a plastic bag. Oh, by the way, there's the chair that I put up against the door. I put that up against the door at night so that serial killers didn't kill me. So, goodbye, house. Goodbye, upstairs. Let me make sure this was Mel's room. We stripped the bed. She stayed in here. We stripped the bed. And then all my beach towels are right there. This house was fantastic. Like, this was such a great experience for my very first time ever renting an Airbnb. Like, I hear people like, oh my God, my bag. My bag fell down the stairs. I hear like people not have like the greatest experiences, but I had a fantastic experience. I had a really, really good time. So, yeah, I don't know what that's about, but that wasn't my experience. Not at all. My backpack is packed. Got my trash down here all ready to put out. Turn the TV off. All I have to do is take the trash out now. Whew, hold on just a second. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. I think it's still a little early for me to leave, is it? I mean, I've got 15 minutes, but there's no reason for me not to leave. Alex was gonna come out here, and I'm like trying to find a place to put this. Alex was gonna come out here, but I was like, babe, it's like a 35, 40 minute drive by the time that you get out here. And then we're gonna have to turn around and go back. And he was like, yeah, that's true. So he didn't. So poor guy has literally been sitting at the airport since like 9:30 this morning. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so glad I looked around. I almost forgot my computer charger. Or my battery for my camera. I can't believe I almost forgot that. I've like looked around everywhere. Truth be told, I really wanted to wear shorts. But I was afraid if I got home and then it was cold, I'd be pissed that I had shorts on. So, and I really didn't want to wear this shirt. But it is what it is. Do you want to know what's so crazy? We absolutely went through every bottle of water that I bought for the weekend. And then Well, I bought those Dr. Peppers. I just trimmed my nails. I bought the Dr. Peppers. I didn't go through all the Dr. Peppers, but like I have one Diet Coke left and I'm gonna leave it in the fridge. So let's take a last spin and look around. Little suitcases already. So here it is. Here was my weekend oasis. I would totally rent this house again. I never did play miniature golf. It's beautiful today. It's like 77 outside. The pool was really warm the weekend. This is where Mel and I sat the whole weekend. Isn't it so pretty? Like really the pictures on the website did not do it justice. We never went and sat over here. The only camera that they have is on this patio. And they, like, it's in the thing. There's like one out back and then there's one out front. But it says that. So I don't think they have like hidden cameras in here. But anyway, and we never did have a sit-down dining room table. Okay, make sure I have all the lights off. There are so many lights in this house. I don't know how to... This thing right here, I could not figure out what it was all weekend. And then Mel had that TV on. Because these are like in every room. And they're hooked up to that TV. So if you're like watching TV and you turn this up, you can hear it in the room. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, I don't know how to turn this light off in here. Oh, I bet it's over here. Nope. Oh, there they go. Bye-bye. There's my little car out there. Okay, so goodbye, house. You've been a good house to us this weekend. I always say goodbye to things. And we love you, and maybe we'll come back and visit, or maybe we'll run another house. Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna go throw the trash out, and then I'm gonna kind of vlog throughout the day today. So, yeah, I'll probably be back in just a little while. Bye. We're getting ready to board our plane. There's my honey. Getting ready to board our plane. He's been here all day long. And I got here and I had a falafel pita, a bottle of water, and some hummus and pita chips. And it was delicious. And I have peanut butter M&Ms and a Diet Coke. And I was sitting here watching the 3rd season of 13 Reasons Why. And what else? That's it, and I have some movies downloaded. I downloaded Dark Waters, and then I downloaded Zombieland and Zombieland 2. But do you guys want to see the mountains? Since I didn't film any of the mountains while I was here, you can see them in the distance over there. They're pretty. Kind of see them. It's pretty though. Anyway, he's waiting over there, even though we probably still have
We now welcome
10 minutes
group 7
left.
customers to board
Group
flight
7, we're group 9, so I better get off
to the
here.
main boarding lane.
Bye. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Well, I'm back in Indianapolis, and I'm back in the car for the car vlog. And it's hot in here. And I don't know how long I'm gonna vlog tonight, you guys, honestly, because I'm starting to get really, really tired. I'd like to listen to like a half an hour of my audiobook before I go to bed tonight. I haven't listened to my audiobook the last couple days, so I gotta catch up so I get back on track. But, no, I just wanna like get back into it because I was loving that book so much. I typically only listen to audiobooks like when I'm in my car driving, or like if I'm sitting somewhere waiting with like my AirPods in. And like when we were flying, I was watching like movies and stuff. When we were at the airport today, I started watching 13 Reasons Why when we were waiting at the airport. I got like, probably 45 minutes into the first episode, or I don't know how long the episodes are, 3/4 of the way through the first episode of the 3rd season. And then on the plane, I sat next to these women. I started talking, well, his mother and her daughter, and I started talking to them at the end. So I didn't finish my, they were so nice. I didn't finish my movie that I started. So then when I got home, I went to the post office. I got some very nice things at the post office behind me. I'm gonna, I've got a couple things I want to show, so I'll show them tomorrow on the vlog. But I sat in the parking lot at the post office and I finished the movie because I had like 20 minutes of it left. So I sat there and finished the movie. I watched Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo. It was so good, you guys. And when I started it, like, I was really excited about it. Because it had kind of a very Aaron Brockovich feel to it. But I didn't, and I love Mark Ruffalo. Do you guys know who Mark Ruffalo is, the actor? Oh, I think he's so sexy. So anyway, he was like the guy that played the attorney in the movie. And it was about this, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it was very much like Aaron Brockovich. It was basically about contamination by the company DuPont, and all based around like Teflon. It was really interesting. I didn't know anything about this. I feel like I've kind of heard something about it, but I'm not sure. And like they showed clips from like 2020 and stuff on there. Anyway, he was really good in it, but I'll tell you what, Anne Hathaway was in it, and she played his wife. She was fantastic. I kind of think they were nominated for Academy Awards for their roles, but I'm not sure. But like Anne Hathaway was so good in her part. Like she wasn't a big part of the movie, but she had a couple lines in there that were, there was this one line that happened like in this hospital scene, and she just was phenomenal. She, you know, I think like Anne Hathaway has done some smaller roles where she's not the lead, and she's so good in it. Wasn't she Jake Gyllenhaal's wife in Brokeback Mountain? I think she was. Which is interesting because when you read the novella, Brokeback Mountain, by Annie Proulx, the wife is like really non-existent in the book. Like she's a really small part of the book. But I mean, that whole book was really short because it was a novella. It's beautifully, beautifully written. She wrote Shipping News too, I think, and somebody told me that book was really good. But my mom actually loved the movie Brokeback Mountain, and she was like, it's like the ultimate love story, and so she bought me that book. But yeah, Anne Hathaway was fantastic in it, but I didn't think I would really like it. Like I started watching it, I thought, oh, I don't know. Like this is kind of feels like to me like another one of those kind of like, well, it said it was like his life is threatened and all this kind of stuff, which, okay, maybe a little bit, but like I didn't really, like that wasn't really like a big part of it, and that was kind of like what pulled me into it. But the more I watched it, I just got really, I was so into the story. Like I really love stories like that about like how people are affected by, I just love those kinds of stories. If you liked Aaron Brockovich, you will love Dark Water. Dark Water. So check it out. And I didn't finish it on the plane because I started talking to these women. Okay, so when we were sitting at the airport, we were sitting at like one of those things where you like charge your phone and stuff. Which, by the way, I was so hungry. The Phoenix airport might have some of the best restaurants I've ever seen in my life in an airport. And Alex got Pei Wei. He got fried rice at Pei Wei. I'd never found the Pei Wei. I went and looked for it, but he goes, it's down the other gate. And I started walking down there, and I was like, oh, that's a long way. I don't want to go down there. So I went to this place that was like gyros. Is that how you pronounce it? Gyros, I think you do. Wraps and pita sandwiches. And I got a falafel pita, and it had like tomatoes and onions and pickles and chickpeas in it. It was delicious. It was so good. And I kind of forgot how much I love falafel. But anyway, and then I got hummus, and it was like this jalapeno hummus. And like they took hummus and they put it in this thing. This is at the airport, okay? And then they actually took chickpeas and put it in there and like crushed it up and moved it around, and then like they kind of like made it right in front of me. And then they just gave me a big pita piece, which I went through like that. So Alex got me some pita chips. So he went back there because I was like watching the show, and I got done and he was going to get candy. And he was like, do you want anything? I said, will you give me some of those pita chips? So he came back and brought his stuff. He was like, I couldn't find him anywhere. And I was like, oh, I'll go get him, don't worry about it. He's like, no. He was like, where were they? And I was like, explaining to him. So he brought me these pita chips back. And these pita chips were like this big. And they were like kind of crunchy, but kind of soft. I don't know, it's like in between crunchy and soft. They were so good. And, like, they were like if you took a, what do you call it, a pita, and you, like, toasted it. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was so good. So I dipped them in the hummus, and I watched 13 Reasons Why. I kind of like the third season so far, but I feel like, I think the third season was the last season, wasn't it? I feel like they're trying to really drag the story out a lot. I started Mindhunter, but like every time I go to watch it, I'm just like, I need to get past. Okay, so I went to go look and see the last episode that I had watched, and it was the 4th episode. So I started over at the beginning with the 1st episode again. So I need to get through, I might need to get something to eat here in a little bit too. Like, I haven't eaten since then, and that was a lot earlier today. I need to get past the 4th episode. I was like, I guess I was like halfway through the 4th episode. I need to get through the 4th episode so I can like really enjoy it. Because I was starting to like it at that point, but I don't know anything after that, you know? I also rented Zombieland and Zombieland 2. I've never seen them, so, and I love Woody Harrelson. He's another little celebrity crush that I have. Celebrity crushes. Daniel Craig is my #1 celebrity crush. Apparently, I heard something on the radio that he's like on the front of GQ magazine this month with shirtless. Daniel Craig, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper, Mark Ruffalo. I used to love George Clooney and Brad Pitt, but I don't find them as attractive as I used to. I feel like I was looking at pictures of Brad Pitt from like the Oscars or whatever, or what, I don't know when it was, I think it was the Oscars, and he literally looked like he like got older like overnight. Like, I feel like I just saw some pictures of him a couple years, like a year ago, and then like now it's like he almost doesn't even look like, he looks like he aged like 10 years overnight. But I kind of like that sometimes, like, you know, when I'm not somebody that like, when somebody like starts showing their age, like that's almost kind of like there's an attractive quality to me about that, like that aging authentically, you know. Who else was I saying? That's another celebrity crush. I was talking about it with some show or something. I don't know, but anyway. Well, okay, like here's a good, I mean, like people that I used to find really attractive, I mean, now they're like 70. Like Sam Shepard, I used to, is he even alive? I don't even know if Sam Shepard's still alive. I used to think Sam Shepard was so, God, did you ever see him in, oh, I don't think that was Sam Shepard. Who is the guy? Sam Shepard was who Jessica Lange dated. I always thought Sam Shepard was real sexy. But the guy that played... Okay, this is how people will know him. He was Bradley Cooper's brother in Star is Born. But, okay, you want to see him sexy, go watch the movie Mask with Cher. And he used to always kind of play that role, like... that like motorcycle guy, you know what I'm talking about, with like the mustache, and that movie Mask with Cher is so fantastic. But anyway, so I started talking to these this mother and daughter on the plane next to me, okay, because so we were sitting there and we were eating, and they were like across from me, and The daughter was like, well, I found out she was 21 because we were talking on the plane. But anyway, she was kind of a little like punk rock different. And so like she and I were kind of like joking across the thing, like something about the announcement over the head. It was like really loud, and I was trying to watch my show. She and I were joking, but then her mom was taking a picture of somebody that she said looks like her dad, and the girl was so embarrassed about it. And her mom was like, "What?" She was like, "He does look like him." She's like, "You're not supposed to take pictures of strangers." And I was like, "Just take the picture. Who cares?" And she's like, "Yeah, he doesn't know. It's not like it's gonna hurt him." I mean, we've all done that, right? Taking a picture of somebody and send it to somebody and been like, doesn't this look just like so-and-so? And whenever I do that, they're always like, no, it doesn't look like them at all. But anyway, so we were like, she got so embarrassed. So then when I was getting on the plane, like Alex had like, you know, scheduled us like 2 aisle seats. So he was on like one side and I was on the other side. I was coming up and he was sitting like on, you know, the right side of where they were, but they were on the left-hand side, and I knew I was sitting right next to them. So they started laughing, and the mom was like, I knew you were gonna be sitting right next to us. And so we kind of talked a little bit, like before the plane took off. I'm gonna pull in here and see who this actor is. I can't remember his name. We were talking a little bit about like our trip and what we had done and why we were out there and all that kind of stuff. And they were really nice. And so anyway, hold on a second. Mask, share, cast. Okay. Sam Elliott. Is that who I said? That's not who I said. I said Sam Shepard, didn't I? Jessica Lange. Let's look up who her. I think she has kids with them. Sam Shepard, yeah. Do you know she was with Baryshnikov too? I think she has kids with Baryshnikov. Hold on a second. My mom would always tell me that. Three, including Shura Baryshnikov. I love, like, it's so funny to me that she gets all this attention for American Horror Story, which I absolutely love now. But, like, the movies that I loved back in the day, you know, like, oh my God, Postman Always Rings Twice. I forgot she was in that. Oh, Francis, about Francis Farmer. That movie was devastating. Sam Shepard was in that. And then... she was in... Oh, Tootsie. Oh, she was so good in Tootsie. But that was like her younger years. Country, I love that one. It was so sad. It was about a farm. Okay, I loved Crimes of the Heart. The Blue Sky, I think, is the one that she won an Academy Award. Oh, Sweet Dreams. How could I forget her? In Sweet Dreams, she was so good in that. Who was the guy that... Ed Harris. Ed Harris is sexy, too. Well, let's hit him and see what happened to him. Is he still working? He's in Westworld. God, he still looks good. I mean, he looks old, but he still looks good. Crimes of the Heart. Everybody's... Oh, American. I forgot about that. I don't know how much of that I've seen. Men Don't Leave. There's a funny story about that with my mom. Cape Fear. Oh my God, when she would smoke in that window. Just fantastic. Blue Sky. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress. Yep. Which is weird, because if you've ever seen that movie, it's a real bizarre movie. 1,000 Acres. I did not love that movie, but I remember I read that book too for some English class. What year did that movie came out? 1998, 19... Anyway. Oh, I forgot she was in that movie Normal, where she was married to the guy that was transitioning. What else? Let's see. Anything else that I loved? I don't remember her being in a remake of Sybil. I did watch part of that Grey Gardens. Or did I watch the whole thing? I didn't love that like everybody else loved that. She's so fantastic, isn't she? Alex said she's in The Politician. How old is she? I wonder. 1949. What's her birthday? April 20th. Oh my gosh, that can't be right. She's gonna be 71. Jesus, these women powerhouses, aren't they? Love it. So anyway, I was talking to these women on the plane, and it was her daughter's first time ever flying in a plane. They were so nice. And they got, okay, so this is how we got talking at the end, right? So I'm watching this movie, and like, the girl next to Alex kept on ordering beers on the plane. So when the waitress came by, we're on a plane. When the flight attendant came by, the mother stopped the flight attendant and she said, "What alcohol do you guys serve?" And so she like gave her, you know, the menu. She was like, "There's the menu," or whatever. So they were like looking through it. I was like, I want to see what they order, okay? Like, I was like, this will be hilarious. So I have my headphones on, so I can't hear what they're ordering, right? I'm just kind of like watching the whole thing go by. So they bring out two of these little bottles of like champagne. These little bottles of champagne, which by the way, in Dallas, at Neiman Marcus, maybe at every Neiman Marcus, I don't know. But in Dallas, they had these, a whole, like, what do you call it? Like a Coke machine, but it was champagne bottles instead, little champagne bottles. It was real cute. I think it was like Moe Chandon or something like that, or Moe whatever, I don't know, because I don't Moe it, whatever. I don't drink champagne, I haven't in 30 years, and I don't order it either. 25 years. So anyway, so then I'm like kind of watching it all go on, and then they got like this like box of treats, you know. People order food on the plane all the time now, which kills me. Like, I didn't realize people do that. Tonight people were getting sandwiches and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, it looked kind of good. I was getting kind of hungry actually. So they got this little box of treats, and it had like smoked Gouda cheese. I was like looking at everything like, oh my god! Had a little thing of smoked Gouda cheese with like wheat thins. And then they had those Milano cookies. I need new windshield wipers, I think. I thought it was something else, but I think it's my windshield wipers. They had those little Milano cookies, and then she handed me, she was like, "Do you want these?" And so I took my headphones off, and they were like cranberry raisins or something. I was like, no, I'm good, whatever. I have 2 bags of M&Ms in there, and I've already eaten another bag of M&Ms. I like 2 bags of the big peanut M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms, and then I had eaten like a small, like Alex had bought me like a share size of the, not Cher the singer, but the share, you know, to share with somebody else. Anyway, so we started talking, and I was like, you guys are so cute. I was like, I'm loving this right now. Because they were like cheering, and they were like taking pictures of each other. It was just real sweet. And she's like, yeah, she's like, well, my son is coming to pick us up from the airport, so I don't have to drive. So I was like, well, we might as well have a drink, you know. And they weren't like tipsy or anything. It was nothing like that. They were just, you know, they were just having so much fun. Her daughter didn't even finish her little, I mean, it was literally like this big, this little champagne bottle. She didn't even finish it. But they were having so much fun, and they were like doing little, because like I was laughing with them because for like the first 25 minutes of the plane ride, they were like trying to figure out how to like buy Wi-Fi on their phones, and they couldn't figure it out. And then the mom like rented a movie, the one about Mr. Rogers, and so she had it like up for them to both watch it, and they were both watching it, but like the daughter wasn't paying any attention to it, so the mom just turned it off. And I said to her, she said something about everything is so expensive on this plane or something like that. I said, well, my God, I said, you guys have gotten Wi-Fi and movies and treats and champagne. And she started laughing, and she goes, she's never flown before. She goes, I really wanted her to have, you know, I said, listen, I said, it's all about making memories, isn't it? I said, you guys are so cute. You're having so much fun. I'm loving it. And she goes, that is exactly right. It is all about making memories. And I just sat there and I just like, they were having such a great time, and they were so nice. And she was showing me pictures from like their trip. And they did a lot of stuff when they were out there, and she was showing me all these pictures and stuff, and they were taking pictures of like the sunset when we were like going through the clouds, pictures of the clouds, pictures of like coming into Indianapolis. They were just, it was, the whole thing was very sweet. And I said to her daughter, I said, now are you gonna fly some more? She's like, I'm ready to go to Florida. She goes, I'm going down to Florida in a couple weeks. So yeah, they were really, really sweet. There was something else I wanted to say. Now I don't remember what it was. I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm trying not to stop. Because I'm like, stop when I'm like at the very end of the vlog. I just like really got a taste for like a cream soda. I don't know why. Cream soda. What I was gonna say something, I don't even know what I was gonna say. It's like literally gonna stop like any second. I think I have like 10 seconds left. Well, I'm gonna use those 10 seconds to see what I was gonna think about. Alex was watching Grace and Frankie on the plane the whole time. He was sitting there watching Grace and Frankie, and it's gonna stop. So I know it's gonna stop, so I'm just gonna stop it. Okay, it stopped. Alex was watching Grace and Frankie. He had a great time at the music festival. He saw Tyler Oakley there. Tyler Oakley was right behind him. Anything else? No, they just had a good time. We got home tonight. Okay, so I always unpack like right when I get home. And we got home, and he was like half asleep in the car on the way home. And oh my God, I almost went through Dutch Brothers in Arizona. Darlene, Jolene, Joe, sit down. I almost went through Dutch Brothers on my way to the airport today, but the line was a little long. And I was like, oh, I really want it, but I don't want to wait in line. So I didn't get it. And now I'm hungry for Del Taco. I was telling Alex about Del Taco today. I was like, it's like Taco Bell, but better. Oh, Sarah went there too. And she said that my review was wrong. She told Alex, she said, Peter, you can tell Peter his review is wrong. I'm kind of surprised she didn't text me about it. She said, because I went to Del Taco and my stomach is hurting. I'm like, well, girl, I'm sorry. Okay. That you, I don't know, like you must have gotten something bad at Del Taco, but my Del Taco was fantastic. I thought it was so good. This rain, we came home to rain. So we got home and I like unpacked my entire backpack in the kitchen, and then I was like going like this. I was thinking, so when I was sitting on the shuttle today from like the car rental return to go to, they like have these shuttles that run back and forth from like there to like, it's like this huge building in Phoenix. It's like every different rental place you could ever imagine. They're all like in one place, and then you rent the car, and then like you go downstairs, and it's like then they put you in your car. It's like this amazing setup. It was very confusing when I got there, but it's like, I understand now why they have it. Like it makes a lot of sense, and it's really well run. It's like run like, I mean, like a very tightly run ship. It is a machine, I tell you. But anyway, so when I was on the shuttle on the way back, there was this guy, and he was like sitting across from me. He's probably like 30 or something, I don't know. But he had like a really nice beard, and but it was like just a little bit longer than mine is. Like, it wasn't a long beard at all. It wasn't like full. The problem is, like, I can see it right here, because my face is chubby, it'll like grow out like this, because it, you know. Oh, the other thing is, when I was getting my hair done last week, was it? I asked my hairstylist, I was like, can you show me how to get like a perfect line on my beard? And she's like, you almost have a perfect line on your beard. And so she had me like go up like this, and then she took her comb and she ran it wrong, and she was like, you know, the problem is, Peter, for you to have a perfect line, you need to go up a little bit higher, but I know you don't want to do that because you think that it gives you a chin. And I said, I don't think I know it does give me a chin, okay? You aren't going to convince me otherwise of that. She's like, well, because what you need to do is you need to go up higher here. She's like, but if you go up higher here, you're going to have to go up higher all the way around. So she's like, just leave it how it is. But she said that the reason why I can't get a perfect line is, she was like, let me show you something. So when she was showing me, she said, well, first of all, she said, you have the ability to, what I'm going to tell you is why you have the ability. So like, the person that I go to that's my hairstylist, she's a stylist, but she specializes in men's haircuts because she was a barber forever, right? So she does like all the barber tricks and stuff like that. So she's done, like, she trims beards and does beards and all that kind of stuff. So she said, the reason that you have the ability to draw, people tell me that I have a nice beard. I don't really see it. I don't see how my beard is any different than anybody else's, if that makes sense. But she has said that to me several times, like, you have the ability to grow a really nice beard. Like, my dad has a beard, but it grows kind of patchy in places, and he's always like, your beard is so nice, I don't know why mine is patchy. Okay. She said, I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is why you're never going to have an even beard, but you have a nice beard. And I said, well, what is it? And she goes, your hair grows in all different directions. And I said, what do you mean? So she showed me, and she was like, do you see right here? She was like, these are going one way, and then this here, this is going another way, and this is going another way. She's like, so when you are trimming it, you're going to have to trim all over the place. She was like, for me to get a really even beard for you, I would have to probably spend 15 or 20 minutes with a razor, like, you know, and I do. Like, that's the thing, is I go in every different direction. And I said, do you think that's why my nose always itches? And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, whenever, I always think it's like right after I trim my beard. And she's like, oh, that could totally be it. She's like, because you might have those hairs, like right there, might go in different directions, and it might start scratching your nose in a different area. And I was like, okay, that must be what it is. She's like, that would make sense because when it was shorter, you know? So anyway, basically, I'm stuck with the beard that I have. But I was thinking, like, I was looking at his beard, and I was like, his beard was, it wasn't a lot longer, it was just a little bit longer. And I thought, like, okay, I trimmed my beard with a 2. I was like, this would be like if I trimmed my beard with like a 3 or a 4. And now Alex doesn't want me to go any longer than I am. He would actually like me to go down to a 1 and have it almost look just like 5 o'clock shadow. So, I don't know, maybe someday. It was funny because it was like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Well, it was the night that we went out to dinner for our friend's birthday. And I was taking the razor, okay, the Manscaped razor. That Manscaped razor, let me just tell you, okay, it zips hairs like nobody's business. Let me talk about all my sponsorships, by the way. When I came home, I decided to just, where is it at? Well, here's my hand sanitizer. I decided to, Tanya Jean's always asking me, she's like, do you have any cologne in here? Do you have any cologne in here? And I was keeping those samples of Creed, but I took this out. Oh, damn it, Janet, where's it at? Oh, here it is, my Manscaped, not my Manscaped. Woo! My, Scentbird. Oh, it smells so good. This is the something oud. John Barberto's oud, I think. John Barberto's oud. This is really nice. Really like it. So I'm keeping that in there because that one Tanya asked me. And then also I can always just spray that on before I go in somewhere. But the Manscaped razor, okay, like, it works on like a level That is like unbelievable. Like you put it like on a, like listen, if you have like hair right here and you like go like this, you can literally see the lines like it's gone like that, right? And it doesn't cut. Like it doesn't cut at all. And so God knows why Peter decided that night he was gonna try something. It's always that I'm being an idiot. So I use the Manscaped razor, you know, for cleanup, but I also use it like for around here because it gets actually like a sharper definition than if I use my like beard trimmer, right? So I was taking it and I was like trimming around here and I was trimming around here and I was trimming around here and I was like trying to get it like so it looked really, really nice, right? Well, there was this one really, this is where Peter is so stupid. Okay, why am I talking about myself in the third person? I don't know. This is where I'm so stupid. There was like this hair that I noticed when I was looking really close. It was like in the middle of my beard that was just like sticking out long that I had like missed, right? So I go in with that Manscaped razor, okay? No guard on it, just the Manscaped razor. And I go in to try to hit this thing. Instead of taking a pair of scissors, and I go like that, I cuss like a sailor, okay? And Alex goes, what? And I go, I just, like, there was like a line right here. And it wasn't like a deep gash or anything like that, but you could definitely see it like in my, thank God, my beard and my mustache like grow so quick, because you could see it looking into it. And Alex goes, oh my, he was like laughing. He was like, oh my God. So one time, this was a couple years ago, we were going out one night and I was trying to clean up my eyebrow. I did the same thing. I shaved off like half my eyebrow. I said, I'm not going out. He goes, you're going out. We have plans. I had to go out with like half an eyebrow. It was so embarrassing. But anyway, it grew back. But this grew back and nobody ever noticed it. Like I was so worried like the next day that I would make a video or something and everybody would be like, you trimmed off half your eyebrow, or you trimmed off half your mustache. Gosh. I'm so dumb. But anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, the guy on the thing that had kind of a thicker beard. It just was a nice beard. I don't want one of these huge long beards. I've never wanted that. Like, I have a couple friends of mine in recovery that have these, I have like one really good friend, and his beard is like outrageous, and he's always like complaining that he can't get a girlfriend, and I'm like, and he's an attractive guy, and I'm like, dude, first of all, no woman can even see what you look like, okay? Because your beard's so long. And he's so funny, and he just starts laughing. He's like, you think I need to, I'm like, go ask Tanya. Ask Tanya what she thinks. So, anyway, he's always asking the women what they think if he should trim his beard, and they all tell him yes. They're like, okay, we like facial hair, but maybe not like, you know, down here, you know what I mean? But I know people like really like that look too. So I mean, I don't know. There's probably several of you women out there that are like, I really like it. You know, like my husband or my boyfriend has a really long beard and I like it. To each his own, you know, listen, you only have one life. Do what you want to do, right? So anyway, I am ready to get my dogs tomorrow. But Radley called. He said, Dad, it's time. It's time for you to come get me. Oh, I know what I was talking about earlier was I came home and I unpacked my backpack. Did I share all this already? I don't think I did. And I don't know what I've said. I'm so tired at this point. But I unpacked my backpack, put my computer, plugged it in, got everything out, and what else did I do? Something else. I don't remember. But anyway, did everything, and then I'm like trying to think. I like honestly can't think what else I did. Where am I at on time on that thing? And oh, so then I like carried my suitcase upstairs. Well, Alex never unpacks like the day we get home. And last time he did, so I shouldn't say never, and I was surprised. I was like, I can't believe you're unpacking right away. But he usually doesn't. And sometimes when we like, because we used to carry-ons this weekend, but like, when we like pack a suitcase, like to go somewhere for like a week, like that suitcase might sit there for 2 or 3 days, you know, like, you know what I mean? He's living out of that suitcase in the bedroom. So anyway, he gets in bed. It was exhausted. And, he was so tired, poor guy. So he's in bed and he's showing me these videos from this weekend. They like had they were filming there, and so he was showing me like he was on this video and that video, and he was so excited about it, and he was showing me all this kind of stuff. So I'm unpacking, and I took out the crocheted Pee-Pee the Flying Chihuahua, and I put Pee-Pee the Flying Chihuahua on the bed, or on the table right next to me, so he's gonna sleep and look at me every night. And got all my stuff unpacked. And I looked at the clock, and it said 11, like 11:04, and I was like, oh my God, it's early. I still have, I can get the vlog going, I can listen to my audiobook. And I said to Alex, I said, it felt like it was later. And I said, what time is it? And he said, daylight savings time. Well, I said, is it 11? And he goes, daylight savings time. So, we have a kind of just run-of-the-mill week this week. We don't really have a whole lot going on, either one of us. It'll be nice. It'll be nice just to relax. I can't wait to get the pups tomorrow. Depending on how much, I have a lot of stuff I have to get done tomorrow. I have a lot of errands to run and whatever. I have my meeting tomorrow night, and depending on how much I get done, because I have to pick up the dogs between 4 and 6, because they're getting baths and nail trims and all that kind of stuff. Well, they're not getting groomed. They're just getting, we only get them groomed like every 3 months, like where they get, you know, haircuts. So they're getting baths and nail trims tomorrow, and new bandanas probably. And Tucker always loves his bandana. Boo Rally doesn't love his bandana so much. You know what? The Bark Box and the Dapper Dog Box should be coming this week sometime too, so that'll be kind of fun. Although people don't seem to really love those reviews. I may have to cancel that. People don't really seem to love those, and the dogs don't play with the toys afterwards that often because they're kind of like too big for them, even though I got the smallest box. The treats they're okay with though. They're just fun videos to do, you know. There's something for me to do with the dogs. I'm so thankful. Like, I have it written down in my notes somewhere, like the vlogs where I've like spent a lot of time with, like, you know, Boo and Tucker and Pee-Pee, so I can go and watch that whenever. It seems kind of surreal watching it though. It's weird. It almost kind of feels like Pee-Pee hasn't passed away. And then I always just kind of ultimately get sad. But like, I'm so glad I have that footage, you know, like of me just sitting there in bed talking to the dogs. Like those vlogs, if you remember those. So I want to continue to do that with Boo and Tucker, and I'm so glad that they've been in like some specific videos with me. They come in the video, like every Peterisms video I make, they jump like literally on the chair. I can be doing a drama video. Now I'll say this, and tomorrow it'll be a different story. But like, I can be doing a drama video and they don't come anywhere near the chair. But as soon as I am doing a Peterisms video, like Tucker jumps right on that chair and Boo Radley comes right over. It's so weird. It must just be like, probably the fan or my loudness or something, you know, that they don't come over for that. But like, if I'm doing a review video, they don't come over for that either. The BookTube ones, do they come over? I don't know. Tucker did come over for a drama video the other day, but I miss those little guys. You know, before Pee-Pee passed away, Boo and Tucker would sleep in their house downstairs. Like, we have, like, you know, this crate. You go downstairs to the basement, and it's like right before you get in the basement door, they have this huge crate. And it's like 4x3. Oh, it's probably maybe a little bit bigger than that, actually. We have like a big blanket over it, and there are toys on top, and we leave it open, and Boo Radley goes in there. He loves it, right? We call it their house, and so we'll go to your house, and we put them in there when we leave, because if we don't, they'll tear stuff up. And so, depending on when Alex would have to get up, like if Alex had to get up super early, because, you know, sometimes he goes in at like 10, and sometimes he goes in at like 8 or 7. It just depends on, like, you know, what he has going on that day. So if he had to be up at like 6 or 7, like, they would sleep in their house, because if he didn't, Tucker and Pee-Pee would stay up all night long and play. And, you know, Tucker would jump down and get a toy, jump down, get a toy, jump, and we would get up in the morning and there would be like 10 toys in the bed, right? It was real cute. He doesn't really do that anymore. He doesn't really play with, last week was like one of the first times, well, there have been like a couple weeks ago he had played with like a toy, but like last week was when he like started playing with toys again. And there's like this monkey and he just like sat there and he like chewed all the stuffing out of it. And he hasn't done that in a long time, not since like PP-'s been around. I don't know, maybe he was being, I don't know, maybe he was anxious or sad and now he's starting to feel a little bit better or whatever. I will tell you what's weird is, when we say pee-pee, like if like Alex and I are talking about pee-pee or something, as soon as one of us says the word, like Tucker and Boo Radley both go like that. Like they both are like they still remember that word. Like they still remember pee-pee's name, especially Tucker. Like Boo Radley sometimes doesn't really notice, but like Tucker, like if like I say to Alex something, you know, like Tucker will like turn immediately, like, and then he like sometimes like looks at the end of the bed, like is he down there, which is sad, but at the same time it's kind of sweet, I guess. So but since PP has passed away, there has not been one night that the dogs have slept in their house. Not one night, except for when we've been on vacation. And before, like, some of the nights when Alex had to get up really early, we would put Boo and Tucker in their house so that they wouldn't keep Alex up all night long, and then it would just be PP that slept in the bed with us. But since PP has passed away, ever since, every night, except for when we've been on vacation, Boo and Tucker have slept in bed with us. And they don't seem weird about it, you know, like they don't seem, well, like if I'm out late or if I like go to the casino with Valerie or something like that, when I come home, sometimes when I leave, I'll put them in their house, because when I come home, like, they hear me come inside and Tucker's like, oh, and he wakes up Alex. I'll put him in their house until I come home, and then I'll take them out, and then I'll bring them upstairs to the bed, but they still sleep with us, you know. Tanya said that they were different on this trip. She said that, like, when she would come, because she comes back over there, lets all the dogs out and stuff like that, and she said, I was like, what is that light, that yellow light back there? There's a light. She said that, like, she would walk in there to get them and let them, like, you know, out into the lead, and she said back in the day, like, they would all just be up. But like PP wasn't with them back then either, because she kept him in the office and stuff. So it's not that. I don't know, maybe they're just they're 10, you know? And she said that they kind of get up real slowly, like they're half asleep. She's like, Boo Radley is just like half asleep, and he wakes up and he just kind of trots and follows, you know, Tucker outside. And he's like, I guess we're going outside. She's like, he kind of shakes himself. He's like half asleep. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, like, Boo and Tucker just, like, kind of, well, Tucker doesn't so much, but Boo just kind of sleeps a lot all through the day, and, unless I take them outside and stuff like that. I don't know. Makes me kind of sad for the little guy. He doesn't seem upset about it. He seems like he's just, you know, sleeping or whatever. So, I had a fantastic weekend. It was so much fun. I'm gonna go out there again. I think what I'm gonna do is, when Alex goes to whatever it is, Spring Awakening, or he always goes, you know, one of those little Chicago trips for a music festival, unless I cancel it. When he goes to it, if they have one anytime soon, I think that will be the weekend that I go to Phoenix again. And I'll probably do the same thing I did today, like a Friday through a Monday. And I will be renting an Airbnb. And then Mel and I talked about how she could just, I'll pick her up on like a Friday after she gets done with work, and then she can just stay with me for the weekend. I'll drop her off on Sunday, and then like I'll come back on Monday, because it was really easy. I won't be renting as big a place. I don't need that. But now that I kind of know like what area I want to be in, and like what I want and things like that, it'll be like, you know, much easier to kind of like pick a place. But yeah, like I think that would be a lot of fun to do that at least a couple times a year. Plus, it's kind of like such an easy weekend that, like, if I want to get away for a weekend and, like, you know, like, I wouldn't go to Vegas by myself and just, like, gamble or stay in a hotel because, like, if I'm gonna go to Vegas, why not have Alex come with me? And same thing with Miami or whatever, you know? So it's like, I keep on thinking I have a necklace on. I don't know why. But, like, that is a weekend that, like, you know, unless he wanted to, like, hang out with Mel and I, which, you know, he'd probably be like, well, I'm gonna go do my own thing, you know? And he doesn't know anybody in Arizona. So, yeah, I'm gonna do it again sometime. We'll have fun. It'll be real fun. We didn't really talk, like, did I say this earlier? She and I talked about this, but we didn't really talk about true crime a whole lot. But we were both kind of like, when we were talking about it, we were like, yeah, but it doesn't really surprise us, like, because, you know, we talk about true crime a lot on the phone and stuff. So it's like we got together and we're talking about, like, our lives, you know, I mean, we talked about our lives. We talked about it all. Like, but it was fun, you know? And, it was fun. I haven't made so many pots of coffee in a long time. Oh, it's gonna stop again. I said this was gonna be a short vlog, and here I've gone on and on and on. I have not drank that many pots of coffee in a long time, and we didn't even make that many pots of coffee, but what did we make, 2 or 3 pots of coffee or something like that? I don't know, but I had a lot of Diet Coke. I drank like 12 Diet Cokes over the course of like 2 days. Oh my God. Plus Dutch Brothers coffee. Plus Fountain Pops. Oh my God. Oh, I'm still pissed that we didn't have our pizza roll mukbang. Oh, and Mel, let me tell us a little secret about Mel, okay? So Mel's talking about she and her husband are really into these pizza bite things. She keeps on talking about these damn pizza bites, right? Not pizza bites, pretzel bites. She's like, oh my God, we're so into these pretzel bites. She told me on the phone before I came out there. She's like, I'm gonna get these pretzel bites. We're real into them. I want you to have them. I'm gonna bring some over there. I'm gonna get them and bring some over. So then when I, like, was talking to her on the phone, when I got there, she's like, oh, I got some pretzel bites, okay? So then when I went to go get her on Saturday, she, like, had, like, you know, all these bags and stuff. She was like, oh, I forgot my pretzel bites. And she went in the kitchen and she got her pretzel bites. And so I woke up on Sunday and I was, like, kind of hungry, but I don't know why, I didn't really want pizza. I don't know why, what would have made a difference, but anyway. So I said to her, I go, where are those pretzel bites you've been talking about all this time? And she goes, I got hungry, I ate them. I go, you ate all the pretzel bites? She goes, I got hungry. I go, is that what the bowl in the sink is for? And she goes, no, that's the salsa. I go, oh, the battery's gonna die. I go, oh, you ate the salsa and the pretzel bites. She started laughing. I go, and half the bag of the scoops are gone too, the chips. I gotta pull in here and change my battery, hold on. Thank God I have another one. Okay. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go up here, go over, come back here to the gas station, and then I will end this so I can run in there and go to the bathroom. But anyway, I didn't get any kind of pretzel bites. I still to this day don't know what pretzel bites taste like. I don't know that I care, but I'm just saying, if I wanted to know what they tasted like, I will never know now because of Mel and her scandalous ways. Totally joking. We had such an easy time. It was just so laid back. Mel is very like Tanya and I. She's just like, I mean, we just drove around and talked in the car and just laughed, and it just was so easy. It was so nice. It was a good weekend. It kind of reminded me of like, you know, I like always paint this picture, I guess, of like when I was in high school, that I was always, like I was like in a lot of trouble, like from drinking and whatever. Like somebody said, I don't know why this comment, excuse me, I've said this more than once on here, and I don't know why this comment really struck a chord with me when they said, it was such a wholesome weekend. It really was such a wholesome weekend, you know? And I think like, my life is pretty wholesome. You know, my life's about like, I mean, honest to God, I mean, it's like going out to dinner with my husband, being with our dogs, you know, like watching some TV, getting carry out. Like I think that's why those of you that like the vlog are like, probably, I don't know why you want to watch your life on a vlog, but it's probably very similar to your life, you know? But you know, when I was in high school, yes, I drank. Yes, I partied. Yes, my friends and I were out of control a lot. But there were a lot of times that we weren't too, you know? And, like often when my dad would go out of town, this is more like my junior, senior year. When he would go out of town, like, I think maybe like one night we would drink. But like, you know, my dad he lives on the lake, he has a pool, his house is nice. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of like this Airbnb that I rented, where it was like this kitchen that you could just stand around in and talk. And, you know, my friends and I, we would just like stand in the kitchen for hours. They would stay with me for the weekend, you know, and it was wholesome. We would like rent movies, and we would like, you know, order pizza, and we would just like sit around. It wasn't like just party central, you know, like that wasn't 100% of my life. Like there were long periods of my time in high school. It was almost kind of like the periods where I was lonely was, I mean, it wasn't like, it was almost like it was like that. Unless we were like partying. The times that I drank when I was by myself was when I was like lonely or misunderstood or disconnected, or I almost kind of liked to drink more by myself than I did when I was with other people, unless we were like at a party or, you know, staying at somebody's house or something like that. But there were a couple weekends that like I house sat for my dad, or I, you know, just stayed there with dog sat for my dad. And like two of my friends would stay with me, and we were just like, really, it was like very wholesome. It was like, my dad would leave us like, you know, $50 to go to the grocery store and get whatever we wanted to, and we would get like cinnamon rolls, and, you know, my dad always had like sausage biscuits in his freezer, I remember. My dad's refrigerator was always like incredibly packed with great food, and they always had this jerky sauce that I loved, and it was like this mustard, and they'd always have like really great like sandwich meat, like not sandwich meat, but like turkey and ham and stuff like that. And you know, we just would sit around there and we would like watch movies and stay up real late and get scared, you know, and then, you know, go out for a fast food run at midnight or whatever. But like we had, you know, some wholesome weekends. I think about that sometimes, like, really in my heart of hearts, that's who I am, you know, like I love those weekends. It's like this weekend reminded me a lot of like my sober friends and I. We used to always, before all, you know, two people went out and two people moved, and, you know, the whole group kind of fell apart. But we used to always, in the summers, rent a house in Lake Norris, Tennessee, a cabin, beautiful cabin. And we would stay up there, you know, for like a 4-day, 5-day. I mean, we stayed there for a week, I think. And one year, Alex went with us. The last year that we all did it, Alex went with us. And only fight Tanya, Jean, and I have ever got in was on that trip. It was the very end of the trip. And it was because she had been like cleaning since that morning. I thought we were done cleaning. And I said, okay, are we ready to go? Like we were all kind of standing around. And I said, are we ready to go? And Tanya had like had it. Like, I didn't know this at the time because she felt like, not with me, but with like everybody else, she had been like waiting on everybody hand and foot the whole weekend, right? And it was a lot. I mean, it was like her husband came, Alex came, like our friend came, and then her girlfriends came. I mean, there was like a lot of us, right? And Tanya felt like she had been like cooking and waiting on everybody hand and foot. And so I said to her, I was like standing in the kitchen, like everybody else was standing around too, right? And I looked at her and I go, what are you doing? We're ready to go. Like I said it just like that, right? And she looked at me and she goes, and it sounded rude, and I realized, you know, that it sounded rude. I didn't at the time, I just was confused. I was like, I thought we were literally like ready to get in our cars and go. Like close the door and leave, right? I didn't realize we had like another 45 minutes to like clean the kitchen. I thought the kitchen was done, you know? And she goes, not you. Well, this is how I knew it was bad, okay? So like the whole week, this was back in the day when we all smoked a bunch, but cigarettes. But anyway, she like she took this cigarette up and this lighter and she like lit it like in the house, okay? And this was like, you didn't smoke in the house, okay? You smoked away from the house on the patio and stuff like that. And she had a cigarette in her hand. She goes, not you. Anybody but you. And she lit this cigarette and she walked like, because we have this like long back patio and this is like the front of the house. And she like, which was like up into the woods, and she like walked through the house up to the, like out to the front. And I was like, I looked at Alex and I go, what did I say? And I like turned it all to my friends. I was like, what did I say? And they're like, I don't know. And so Alex goes, let me go talk to her. He goes, I'll go talk to her. I go, I don't know what I said. So he went and talked to her and I saw them talking out and she's like, you know, doing something like waving her hands, like being upset. And then she walked around the side of the house to the back patio and he came back in and he goes, I think it's time for us to go. And I go, what? And he goes, I think we should leave. And I go, is she really upset? And he goes, she's really upset, Peter, with you. And I go, okay. And we like left. This is like kind of a joke with Tanya and I now. But we like left. Well, that drive, it's like a 6.5, 7 hour drive. I bawled the entire ride home. I was like, Tanya's never gonna talk to me again. She's been my best friend the whole time. I don't even know what I said. I know when I was at the kitchen. I helped her with the kitchen. I helped her clean the kitchen that morning. We were all clean. I don't know what I said. Alex is like, it's gonna be fine. Stop worrying about it. You guys have been friends forever. You don't even fight. You've never really even had a fight, right? So we get home and we had been home for like an hour, and like one of my other friends had like texted us, like that drove with Tanya, and she was like, we're on our way home or something like that. And so like I kind of knew when Tanya got home and it had been like an hour, and I was like, okay, she's home. And I was like sitting outside. This is like in, you know, July or August, remember, it's like hot. I'm sitting out there and I'm like about to just like lose it. And I called her and she's like, hello? And I'm like, Tanya? And she's like, I don't want to fight with you anymore. I was like, I don't want to fight with you anymore either. I'm sorry. She's like, I don't even know what I'm mad about. I was just felt like everybody just was taking me for granted. And I was like, I love you. I wasn't taking you for granted at all. It was the one and only fight we've ever gotten, and that was it. That was it. I think that's it. If we got in another fight, we got into some like, oh God, I went further than I said I was gonna go. If we've gotten in another fight, it's been like so small I don't even remember. But like that is like literally the only fight we've ever gotten into. We've disagreed on things. I think that's one of the most wonderful things about our friendship is that we disagree on a lot of things. We don't have the same opinion or the same stance or the same philosophy on so many things, right? But we have never allowed it to stand in the way of our friendship. And you know what? Let me just tell you something. That gal has been my closest and dearest heartstone, best friend for 3 years, right? And we have differed our beliefs and changed our beliefs so much over time. I would say like when we first met, our beliefs were like this, and I would say now our beliefs are like this on like our, stances on things. But you know what? We've never argued over the other person's opinion. Like, let's just say if she said, if she brought up, I don't know, what do you think of recycling? I'm trying to pick something real safe. But our conversations are not that safe. Does that make sense? Like, we're not talking about recycling. We're talking about this stupid thing is out of focus. I can kind of tell, I think. Okay, there it goes. But we're not talking about recycling. We're talking about, other stuff. Which, recycling's important. I'm not saying that it's not. But it's not a conversation that would probably get you in the most heated conversation, And she'd say, like, let's just say if Tanya said, well, I really believe in it. And I said, well, I think it's crap. I believe in it. I'm just using this as an example. I totally believe in recycling, okay? But, like, I would say, well, what is it, why do you believe in it so strongly? And then she would, like, tell me, and, she'd say, give me some examples, like, oh, I have this friend or whatever. Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. But have you ever thought about it this way? Like, when Tanya and I drive around, like, that's a lot of our conversations are like that, And I'll say, but did you ever think about this? Oh, yeah, I never did think about it that way. My opinion has changed so much in the last 20-some years about just things in this world from having talked to Tanya, Like, those drives that we take in our car really have changed my perspective on so many things in the world that I guess I just didn't really know that I felt a certain way or felt so strongly or not as strongly about something. And, we've had these amazing conversations that have led to me really kind of thinking and readjusting my thoughts on things. And some things I have, become more concrete about how I believe on certain things, and some things she's changed her opinion about. So that's why we joke and we say we're solving the world's problems when we're driving around. We're not. Not even. Oh my God, I forgot all about my lip gloss. Not even attempting to. But I think that's a wonderful thing about a friendship, I think, friendships, you can have disagreements and you can have arguments. I don't think that because Tanya and I haven't fought, it says that our... it's like fighting in relationships. Like, I don't think because Tanya and I haven't fought, it says that our friendship is stronger or better than anybody else's. That's what I mean. I think that if we fought all the time, I might ask, well, why are we fighting? Like, what's that about, right? But it's like, I don't think that couples that don't, first of all, I think couples that don't ever argue, I think is interesting. I will say this. Alex and I don't argue the same way that we used to argue. Like, back in the day, it would get very heated. It never gets heated anymore. And if it does get heated, which, I mean, like I said, it doesn't, but like let's just say if we can start feeling ourselves going there, it's because somebody's tired, somebody had a long day, somebody's irritable, and usually, like, I'll say, like, I'm really tired, babe, like, this is not the time to have this discussion, can we save it till tomorrow? And he'll be like, yeah, sure, I totally get it. Or he'll be like, you know what, honey, like, I love you, I'm irritable, it's been a long day, like, I would rather just, like, maybe shelve this for tomorrow, till later in the week. And I'm like, okay, cool. We don't push it anymore. Like, when we first got together, we pushed the argument. And it wasn't healthy for us, And, I will say this, though. Like, it was interesting because I was talking to Mel this weekend. She's like, you and Alex, like, your interests are very different on a lot of different things. And that is true. I think that one of the things that really works is that, like, our belief system is very similar. Whereas, like, with Tanya, like, as my friend, it's like there's a mutual respect. But, like, with Alex and I, like, our belief system's pretty aligned when it comes to how we feel about certain things. And I'm not talking about, like, spirituality and things like that, but, like, the mutual respect of that, too, though. That Alex is an atheist and I'm not, and we both respect the other person and ask the questions. I think, I think that really is the key to any kind of relationship, whether it's romantic or otherwise, friendship, is just to have a conversation. Like, Alex and I have had many, for him not believing in anything spiritually and me, like, believing in everything spiritually, I cannot tell you how many conversations we've had about that are, like, fact-finding conversations. I'll be like, well, babe, like, explain to me, like, your stance. And he'll be like, well, there's this and there's this. And sometimes I wonder, and he'll say, like, well, when you say, like, when we first got together, he would ask me a lot, like, about, like, well, what is a God moment? Like, when you say that's a God moment, like, what does that mean to you? And I would explain it to him, or, like, I say things a lot, like, I don't use this language really in my videos, but, like, in my personal life, I'll say things like, like, that's a God thing, or God's in the moment, or God's talking to me, like, right now, like, I'll say something like that, and that's my idea of what my higher power is that I just choose to call God, but, and it's funny because he's real defensive about it to other people. like when other people will be like, oh, you're real religious, he's like, Peter's not religious at all, he's a spiritual person. And like, and he'll say like, I've never met anybody that is like feels so full of spirit, you know, like Peter does. And he really respects it, you know. He'll ask me questions, and you know, I really thought in 12 years at some point that he might start changing and start, you know, a couple years ago, it was like I started seeing, he would say, well, I'm starting to think about some things, but it kind of comes and it kind of goes, and you know what, I don't care. I don't care if he never believes in something. I think that's his personal belief system. I understand why he feels that way. The reason why he feels that way, which is personal and private to him, makes a lot of sense to me. I understand it. I get it. It's not my way of thinking, you know, but like we really respect each other when it comes to like our beliefs about things. I mean, we don't try to change the other person's beliefs, you know, and I think that that's important. I think also, like, and this wasn't the case when we first got together, but our long-term goals are the same. And I think that's important. And that wasn't something that was necessarily true when we first got together. I guess like the common theme between the relationships I have in my life, like, you know, and I don't have a lot, you know, I kind of got emotional about that in the video yesterday, but like, I just don't. And I'm not necessarily sad about it. It just makes me sad when like I have a friend like Mel that I'm like, you know, and damn it, if you live near me, then like we could go get fountain pops and sit outside and talk, you know, all night long. But you know, now I have something to look forward to. I have a place to go visit, so that's the positive of it, right? But I think the common theme of my relationships is that we don't try to change each other. We like accept each other, like my friendships, my relationship with Alex, things like that. You know, we don't try to change the other person. We accept them where they're at, and we appreciate the differences between each other and look at like the beauty in that. You know, I think that's important. I think sometimes when you want to change the other person, or you think to yourself, I wish they were more like this, which I have been at fault for that before. I've been at great fault for that. But when you do that, what you're really saying is, I'm not okay with, like, I'm not okay with this person this way. Like, if they were more this, or if they were more that, like, I don't accept them where they're at. Does that make sense? Like, and I think what really changed it for me was that, like, especially with Alex, I think it was like, if I want to be accepted for who I am, then I have to do the same thing. And that was part of like us speaking a different language of mutual respect and independence, and not an independence in doing things different, but an independence in thinking things different, and allowing him to be his own person, and him allowing me to be my own person. You know what I mean? Like people always ask, they're like, well, what do you think about Peter's doing YouTube? And what do you, like, does it ever this or does it ever that? Like, I've never really, to be honest with you, I've never really thought about that. Like, Alex is nothing but supportive of it. You know, it's like, one of the things, like, I think he gets a kick out of it when people come up to me and they say hi, and he's always like, do you want a picture? You know, like, he's always so, like, he just loves it, you know? Hell, he was talking to Mel in DMs, I didn't even know it. They've been talking forever, you know, on Instagram. And I love that about him, and I, you know, do the same for him. And I think the thing is like, other than right at the beginning when I told he and Tanya that I wanted to start the BookTube channel, and they were both like, oh, another project, you know? Other than that, like, he's never once, like, said, don't do it, I'm tired of this, you know, or, you know, what I mean, he just lets me do it, and he allows me, you know, like, if I'm stressed out about it, you know, he'll say to me, like, well, you know, maybe like just take a day to yourself, or you know, whatever. Any project that I am passionate about in my life, I allow myself to get stressed about too at some point, like when writing the book, you know, or whatever. It's like I'm hard on myself, and I think he acknowledges that, and he is like, because he's very similar to that. Like Alex is very similar to that, you know, and our language is very similar. And like I'll say to him, you know, like, okay, babe, what can I do to help this situation? Or what can we do to make this easier for you right now? And he'll be like, I don't know, maybe I just need to take a day, you know? And I'm like, okay, just take a day. Let's not even think about it today. Let's go get dinner, and then tomorrow you can think about it. And he'll be like, okay. And that is sometimes what you have to do. You have to back burner stuff until you're ready to do it, you know? So I don't know. It's nice to have a partner that's a teammate, you know? And support you on what you love to do. So, I feel blessed for the people in my life. I feel very blessed, and I feel blessed for my weekend that I had. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna stop it now because we're at like 22 minutes and 56 seconds, and it's just gonna stop. So I'm gonna stop it, and it's gonna stop in 30 seconds. So I'm gonna stop it now. I can't believe I've gone this long. I'm gonna stop it now, and then I'm gonna end the vlog tonight because I'm getting really tired. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook at 3:15. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. So I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday, unless you have other plans. I hope it stops raining wherever you are, unless you like rainstorms, but I'm kind of ready for the rain to stop. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, I'm gonna try to make this the fast Cliff Note versions. Tonight we're gonna see if I can do the fast Cliff Note version of the Lord of the Rings. Because somebody compared my outro to Lord of the Rings. Anyway. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you are having an amazing Tuesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something today that is happy and fun and exciting. Do something today that will make yourself proud when you look back on it a year from now, 6 months from now, 6 weeks from now, next week, 10 years, 5 years. If nobody else has told you this today, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you do your daily positive affirmations, and you say, I love you, you are valuable, you matter, you are worthy of good things. Good things are coming your way. Today is going to be an incredible day full of positivity, laughter, fun, and opportunity, and desire. And you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are funny, and today is going to be a really great day. And 2020 is going to be the best year yet. Full of success, full of love, full of laughter and joy. And I'm trying to think of the recovery saying. Why can't I think of it? Happy, joyous, and free. This is going to be a year of being happy, joyous, and free. And yeah. And those are your daily positive affirmations, and whatever else you want to believe in yourself. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and you let them know how important they are to you. Pick just one person out and say, you know what, you really mean something to me and you really matter to me. And so, yeah, just do that. I'm gonna pick Taylor. Taylor, thank you for being on the vlog this weekend. Thank you for being such an important member of the True Crime Book Club. Thank you for supporting me and my channels and watching. And I love you. I know Mel loves you and considers you a dear friend. So thank you for being in our lives. And practice random acts of kindness, and make sure that you don't tell anyone. Just do it to be nice, to be a good person. This was supposed to be a short Cliff Note version, and it's gotten long, hasn't it? Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, put a big blue heart, or just a blue heart, in the comment section below with a thumbs up. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. I mean, I'm back home again in Indiana. I had to do one last I love you, so I love you. And I'm out. Bye. Love you, love you, love you. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Bye.